Hello, okie dokie, everybody. It's Krisse Tuominen, and I just went live. I'm doing a live stream show right now, and hopefully someone comes to watch this. I mean, it would be quite dull just to talk by myself. Yay, at least now I'm having a single watcher right now. Thanks for it. And I shall talk about role-playing books this time. Stuff that I recently got from ad libris, and also as second-hand stuff. But yay, first I shall be showing you some stuff that I just got yesterday from ad libris. And the first book that I'm currently showing you is a dicegeeks.com production. Cut down your prep time and have more fun running role-playing games. The back of the book. Back cover, Tips and advice on running role-playing games, adventure sessions, and campaigns without spending hours preparing. To know prep game master, or how I learned to stop worrying and love random tables by Matt Davies. Matt Davies runs the dicegeeks.com webpage, and there's a whole lot of interesting stuff, freebies and so on, and there's also a whole lot of stuff in drive-thru RPG.com from Dice Geeks, and Matt Davies especially. He is the creator of the Anarchy role-playing game, and he has produced quite a lot random tables and also interesting game master preparation articles and blog texts and such. And I already have this as a PDF file, but now I also have this as a printed book, booklet, leaflet, whatever. And there's a brief glossary of words, introduction, and arcana story of Matt Davies' role-playing history and his Game Master evolution and role-play Game Master evolution in general. And this book is full of good advices, practical tips and hints, and many clarifications, and this awesome no prep approach to game mastering and prepping for the gaming sessions for the game moderators, and I have read this through, and I really love the book. I dig it as a PDF file, but as a printed book, I really enjoyed reading it. And there's quite a lot good ideas in the book, many that I already knew, but it's always nice to have a light book that is full of good ideas, and you need just one book to mind you about the good stuff in role-playing games and good techniques and such. So this really works for beginners, but also this works for veteran gamers and game masters and such. I totally recommend you to read this as a PDF file or printed book. I got my copy from Adlibris. It was on sale when they had their Adlibris Women's Day sales on early days of March. And this is a official Savage Worlds license production. The real American heroes, villains, legends, the folklore of America features all of this and more. In this volume you will find pirates and soldiers, lumberjacks and steel drivers, mountain men and lawmen, cowboys, Indians, inventors and eccentrics, all of whom are just waiting to be included in your role-playing game campaign. And don't let the time period fool you. Just because these characters existed in the 18th and 19th centuries doesn't mean you can't use them in your pulp, superhero, fantasy, or even science fiction games and campaigns. After all, these characters are larger than life. Larger than life features 20 archetypes ranging from Blackbird the pirate to the man who invented the 20th century, Nikola Tesla. In addition, there are a total of 24 full character sheets, each with a detailed history and description of the character in question. But that's not all. You also get over 124 biographies of other people related to each archetype, as well as 6 famous ocean-going ships, famous outlaw gangs, Paul Bunyan's entire logging gang, and innumerable other historical tidbits. Each archetype also comes with at least one template, allowing you to build your own version of that archetype. So what are you waiting for? Dive in and start discovering those tidbits of American history you never knew existed. But watch your step, because after all, these characters are larger than life. And this is official Savage Worlds license production by Michael Serbrook. And it promises a lot. and it really delivers it all. And the layout is great, graphics are great. This is well written, well produced. Nintendo Poika 243 says first. What's in this book? Whole lot of stories, whole lot of history, even stats for horses. James Butler, Wild Bill, Hickok, Lawman. So this has whole lot of history, also tales and lore, and even some fake lore and sexy picture of Nikola Tesla. So this teaches history and gives you a whole lot of stats for Savage Worlds, but you can use these stats in many other cool role-playing games or whatever you need or want to do with that. And back to Matt David's books and DiceGeeks.com Productions. In this book, Matt Davids gives you tips and advice on running role-playing game, advanced sessions, and so on, and talks about random tables, and this is one of his awesome random table books. 29 random post-apocalyptic tabletop role-playing games. Cut down your game master prep time with random tables like projectile weapons, clothing, books, melee thrown weapons, ammo, drugs, plus tons of random items. The Book of Random Table Post-Apocalyptic by Matt Davids. This totally gives you more than it promises, so this book really gives you content for your money. And there's encounter tables and many kind of tables, appliances and furniture, office items, melee and thrown weapons, over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies lists, ammo lists, food lists. So this is really good stuff. Random items. So this really gets you going on your post-apocalyptic campaign or whatever. So you don't have to make up everything or do a whole lot of preparation before the gaming session. You can get a whole lot of ideas just when you get along with the story. And that said, I'll be moving on Matt David's book, another book, Dungeons for the Masters. 177 hand-drawn dungeon maps plus a massive 1d100 dungeon encounter table, a role-playing game aid from DiceGeeks.com. This cover is totally awesome, and this has a whole lot of dungeon maps and also really interesting and cool encounter tables and item tables and other random and not so random tables. And these maps are cool. I really like these. And all the maps are really useful and quite well planned, or even totally awesome stuff. These have quite original and cool names. After all the maps, there is a whole lot of useful tables, like literally after the last map, there's 100 dungeon encounters, and simply roll 1d100 on the card below. Once a result is determined, click on the item to roll on the subtables, and there's a whole lot of subtables. These are all practical, cool, and funny, very useful content, and these fit well on fantasy games, but also on those games that are not fantasy but on dungeons. So even on modern times, I say so, and on many different kind of settings, especially fantasy settings. But this book doesn't restrain the game master or the gaming group, so you can use this on any desired way and on any desired setting or gaming system or gaming. And these are also very usable content if you're a creative writer, so I totally became a huge fan of Matt David's books. If you find this somewhere, I got mine from Adlibris. Or you can get this from drivethrurpg.com or from dicegeeks.com. Go there and check it out. I totally recommend these. All 3 books that I just recently got. So, yes, all really usable content. And I also like this Savage Worlds official license product. Real American Heroes Larger Than Life Folklore Legends of America by Michael Sherbrooke. And this is a good book too, and goes well with those others. And I'll show you quickly some stuff that I got earlier, secondhand. Star Wars, the original game from West End Games, trademark and copyright 1987. This is the original role-playing game in world of Star Wars, and this is just show us Han Solo. And cool tables on that too. I have showed this earlier, but I wanted to show this again. And I'll be using this together with this, and it's going to be fun. And I earlier got quite a lot of stuff for the original Mage to Ascension, and I'll be showing these. I seem to have 3 viewers right now. Hello, moikka moi vaan kaikille. Saa kommentoida tuohon chattikenttään. So, Technocracy Iteration X is a totally cool source book for Mage to Ascension. I totally love this book. Totally cool, awesome art. Hairy armpit said Dindedopoika 243. Yeah. It's winter time in Finland, so I wanna keep my armpits warm too. And they're sexy too. But yeah, I love this book, and I especially love the Mage to Ascension role-playing game in general, and I have quite cool library of Magic Mage to Ascension role-playing books. Thanks for every cool person who has dealt me these role-playing books. Horizon, the Stronghold of Hope, a source book for Mage to Ascension. Hope lies between the worlds. 500 years ago, sorcerers came from across the world to meet in a place that did not exist on Earth. Hope lies between the worlds if wisdom triumphs over pride. Horizon, the Stronghold of Hope includes rules and hints for running Archmage characters, opinions for visitors, concerts, and infiltrators of all kinds, an inside look at the Council of Thracian suggested for major readers. Back in the days, I liked more the vampire and werewolf, but now when I got a whole lot of original Mage Ascension role-playing game books, I have totally fell in love with this game. Halls of the Arcanum, Fear of the Hunt. We watch the shadows cast upon the walls, but shadows sometimes bite back. This is really good stuff. Awesome art and awesome texts. Mage the Ascension role-playing books are generally really useful and inspirational books. And they totally give many tips and hints and advices on creative writing and game mastering and role-playing and running games and making your own gaming session and such. And it is also very awesome gaming world and setup and setting. So I totally recommend you all, if you're interested in magic, to check out the Mage the Ascension role-playing books. But yay, now I showed you these awesome books that I got, and I totally love all these. I got a whole lot more than those, but I wanted to mainly show you these recent new books, but although wanted to show some second-hand books too, because it's more usual to me to get second-hand books or really old books like this than to get the most recent and most awesome books. And these that I got as a new books are like this is printed in 2015. This Matt Davis book, this is 2019. So last year, this is from 2016. And this is as recent as 2019. And others are dated as far as 87 and around those times. So totally modern role-playing gaming. But yeah, I was so excited that I got all these cool books as a new books, and these all cool oldies. I wanna also show this. Are there any Star Trek RPG booklets? Yes, there are. And I actually do have some. Wait. So, Starfleet Bubbles. I'm not sure when this was. 1992. And there is also quite recent gaming boxes, Star Trek games. I'm not sure, was it Star Trek? Um, yeah, Star Trek Adventures. There's actually free quick start and Star Trek Adventures Red Alert rules in drive-through RPG.com. You can buy more stuff. From drive-through or if you want the starter box, you can get it from Fantasiapelit. And at least in Tampere, there's this Starfleet in libraries. And yeah, I want to show this before I go. This is original Buffy the Vampire Slayer Talking Slayer handbook. I'm the thing that monsters have nightmares about. This molded mini replica of the Slayer handbook Vampire opens to play 10 memorable lines from the Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Also included is a 48-page mini-book with additional quotes and photos from the show. And this is 2019 production. Ages 12 and up. Here's the booklet. And now I'll read you some books.
We're like the Slayerettes. This could get out of control. I'm Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, and you are?
Sorry to barge in. I'm afraid we have a slight apocalypse.
Okay, I'm not panicking. I'm not. Stop looking at me like I'm panicking.
That'll put marzipan in your pie plate, bingo.
No matter what, I'll always be with you.
I'm the thing that monsters have nightmares about.
You're the Slayer, and we're like the Slayerettes. This could get out of control.
I'm Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, and you are?
Sorry to barge in. I'm afraid we have a slight apocalypse.
Okay, I'm not panicking. I'm not.
That'll put marzipan in your pie plate, bingo.
No matter what, I'll always be with you.
I'm the thing that monsters have nightmares about.
Fucking talking book, yeah. It's a vampire book, you know, it's a magic book, so of course
Get
it
out of control.
talks. And I'm happy about this product that I also got from Adlibris. But yay, before the half moon goes up, I gotta go run some errands. So I have to quit the show, but I just wanted to show you all you lovely people my new Talking Slayer handbook. Isn't it awesome? Yes, it is. And yay. But I'm really happy that I at least had few cool people commenting on my live stream, and it's always nice to get some reactions from people, especially laughing ones and such. And now I have been talking about role-playing games and such, and this is classic stuff. Also, this Starfleet Battles Cadet Training Manual that obviously trains you to be a space fleet cadet and so on. And I think that I have been talking about role-playing games and stuff like that almost 40 minutes now, so it's time to end the show, and I want to say hello to Dice's lockdown group, especially Wolf Priest Bazooka and Dice Miniature Boot Goblin and other cool peeps out there, and especially temporary chaplain Rob, who is watching currently Police Academy, which is great entertainment too. And it's time to say ta-ta and cheerios, you all nice folks, and hopefully you can sleep after this and don't let the corona bug bite you and so on. How about a let's play stream with some old console game? Well, maybe someday, but not this time. I actually have quite a lot consoles and console games, so I could do that. But now I'm not just ready, able, nor willing. But thanks for the great idea. And well, but I'm just saying ta-ta and goodbye and have fun and greetings to everybody. Be careful.